What's going on, Forest Hill and Everman family? We are back, continuing our series, Poetry in Motion, man. We are kicking off the month of November strong, man, with some amazing guests that we have. It's been great. Y'all continue to follow us, 6962 Forest Hill Drive, in the beautiful city of Forest Hill, Texas, man. I've had the pleasure to interview and engage with some great conversations with some amazing people as we continue Poetry in Motion. Now, I want to hold you long. I want to get to our guest that we have. He is a longtime resident of the city of Forest Hill, where he serves as city council member, opening act for Kirk Franklin's 1990 Gospel Music Workshop of America Convention, business owner of the Forest Hill Indoor Outdoor Market, multiple poems published at the National Library of Poetry. But he's also a songwriter, spoken word artist, father, and husband, man. Y'all make some noise, online community, live audience, for my brother, Mr. Timey Boardingham.
What's up, Forest Hill? How y'all doing? Well, first and most of all, I want to thank the Forest Hill Library for giving us the opportunity to touch and reach many. And I want to thank my wife, and I want to thank God for giving me the strength, the knowledge, and the courage to be able to do what I'm doing. And I want to start off with you, and the reason why I love doing portrait and stuff like that, because it helps put out positive messages to the community, and I believe that it can change the life of many and give people hope. When they're feeling negative and when they're feeling down, if they hear something positive, it can make a change in their life. So I'm hoping the things that I do today may help many and reach many souls and hearts. And first, what I want to do, I want to start off with a small one, and I'm going to kind of sing this one a little bit. If anything he said could be a lie, heaven and hell will pass away. There wouldn't be no judgment day. If anything he said or promised you and I could be a lie. When you feeling down and alone, and you feel that you can't go on, call on God, he'll give you comfort. Trust in him, he never let you down, yeah. If there is a problem you can't solve, he'll give you strength, or he'll move that problem for you. If anything he said could be a lie, heaven and hell will pass away. There wouldn't be no judgment day. If anything he said or promised you and I could be a lie. Thank you. And another one, this is a song that many years ago, when my daughter's grandfather passed away, and she came to me and asked me to write her a song. And I said, okay, let me write something. This one is called Granddaddy's Love. Said, reminiscing back to those days when I was a little kid, thinking about all the fun and crazy things that me and my grandpa did. He used to hold me in his arms, that meant so much to me. I never will forget those times he used to read, talk, and play with me. Granddaddy's love, Granddaddy's love, that's the way it is, that's the way it was. And on my birthday and holidays, when the tears rolled down my face, these was the most precious time of them all. This is what he used to say. Happy birthday to you, girl, thanking God for another day. Let's cherish every moment, girl, of each and every day. Because one day you and I, oh yeah, we might have to go away. Granddaddy's love, Granddaddy's love, that's the way it is, that's the way it was. Why did you go away? Why did you go away? I miss you. Daddy, why did you go away? Why did you go away? I miss you. Thank you. And another one I'll do. This one is inspirational, giving people hope that when you feel that you can't go on, or if you feel that you can't succeed, or others is beyond you, what I want you to listen and hear this. Let's reach higher and higher and higher each day. Try and let nothing get in our way. Let's reach for our goals, search for our dreams, search for the love and all the wonderful things. Just to see what the other side of life may bring. It may bring a better you, it may bring a better me. Let's keep trying it, and one day we'll see. We'll all feel happy and we'll all feel proud that we reach for the stars and not for the clouds. And then one day we all can say out loud, there is a God high above in those clouds. And another one, I'm going to say just a few. Too many mothers, fathers crying. Too many youngsters dying. Tell me what can we do, me and you, to help change this thing? Need to come together. East side, west side, come roll with me and let me take you for a ride, ride with me. If you want to ride, put your guns aside. Sometimes I wonder why, so young and have to die. Whoa. Said sometimes I wonder why, so young and have to die. You know, just the other day on the news, a young boy got shot for the color of his shoes. Every day I chill in a dime from drug overdose to child abuse. Children, why every time I turn around, you're shooting or killing one another right in school? Now that ain't cool, so what are we gonna do? Well, every time I read the paper, I look at the news. Sad but so true, there's never any good, but always sad and bad news. Parents, instead of blaming one another or keep making an excuse, let's pull together, get along so we can fix this thing, me and you. Then our children can stop dying so young. Come together, work together, live together as one. Then we can all come together to throw a big party, to celebrate and enjoy the great works that we're doing and have done. Like my father always said, if we don't give up, we keep on trying, somehow, someday we will, and we what? We shall overcome. And another one, I'm just giving y'all short stuff. We're gonna go, this one is called, now you stay on the run. Stay on the run. Stay on the run and keep your garments clean. Stand on the run, can't have no fun. Packing your gun, always running from the po-po. Mom and daddy sad because they never can see you anymore. Fool open your eyes, you'll realize it's time you get wise. Said put that foolishness aside. Now what you gonna do now? You have a gun, man. You stuck just like a dog without a bone. You know what? Fool most your homie locked up in jail, dead and gone. Street life. Thug life, start living that street life, thug life. Street life, thug life, start living that street life, thug life. Now what you gonna do now? You can't run, you can't hide. All you need to do now is open your eyes, read your lies, recognize, get wise. And while you're sitting up inside, remember what Papa said, it's never too late to try. Yo, that's right, so if you're gonna give up, you might well lay down and die. Now open your eyes, read your lies, recognize, get wise. Before you come back from your planet, back to planet Earth. Check it out, it's never too late to try till you put down in the dirt. Living that street life. See, youngsters every day they die. Living the street life. And I can't help but break down and cry. Stop living the street life. Say you or no one else have to die. Living the street life. Mama don't cry no more. Daddy don't cry no more. Sister don't cry no more. I hate to tell you, fool, yo, but you had to go. Stop living the street life. Say youngsters every day they die. Living the street life. Said I can't help but break down and cry. Stop living the street life. Say you and no one else have to die. Living the street life. Oh. And this one, another one that said, Why every day when I'm driving down the road, I have to pull to the side because another funeral is driving by. Today our young death rate is at its all-time high. Mass murder, suicide, gangbangers, drive-bys, stray bullets fly, innocent bystanders die. Can anybody, somebody tell me why? Could it be because our children need God in their lives? Most of our mothers and fathers are working much longer and they can't retire. Because most of our young lawyers, doctors, teachers, and nurses, every day we see them passing us from the morgue to the hearse. Headed out to their graves and when they buried in the dirt. Now this is wrecking my brain. It's driving me insane. Mothers and fathers every day, I can feel your pain. Somehow or another, we got to beat this thing because our youngsters are playing and losing every day to this deadly game. Losing every day to this deadly game. Now, do y'all feel what I'm saying? That's all I'm going to give y'all right now.
Give us some hand claps for that, man. That was that was good. That was good, man. That was some good stuff right there. I know we were talking offset, and you were saying how people say that you have an old soul, and I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that spirit on you, man, and the way you deliver in your wordplay, and implementing song with writing. So now that was well put together. Let's get to it. Reading in your bio, you started writing poetry and music at the age of 19. Mm-hmm. Who were your inspirations that influenced your ability to start writing?
The people around me and the older people that I grew up with and listened, I liked the older people because I learned a lot. They had a lot of wisdom. People my age, we were just, stupid. And so because of my upbringing, I liked it to hear and be around older people. So that's where my influence come from, to stay positive and stuff.
Okay, got you. What will be your definition of a true artist? Because as I was studying and learning who you were, I've seen that a lot, sharing that you see yourself as a true artist. So what would that mean to you, being a true artist, whether it be poetry, writing, music?
A true artist to me is someone who can influence someone and help them change their life from negative to positive, help them make better decisions, better choices in life, help them and prevent them from going down paths that they've seen others go down. So a true artist to me, anybody can sing, anybody can write, anybody can dance, anybody can this and that, but a true person to me is someone who leave a positive legacy behind in the memory in the thoughts of everybody that they come across.
I like that. Definitely, we talked about that offset, leaving positivity, making sure that we're using our platform correctly. We're pushing positivity, we're pushing love, we're pushing compassion. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the world that people are influenced by, and so you're definitely right about that. Your first music showcase started at a nightclub contest. Share with us your experience performing one of your songs and how that opportunity came about.
Well, the opportunity came about when I started realizing what I wanted to do in life and what I wanted to achieve and how I could achieve a lot of things and how I could reach a lot of people. So I told my cousin one day, hey, I want to write country, I want to write R&B, I want to write rap, I want to write Christian music.
Yeah.
And he said, man, you can't do that, because I had never sat down and did it. And so I said, I'm going to do it. So one day I sit down and I wrote this poem, and then I heard about this contest at this club. So I'm like, So I took a Too Short beat, and I wrote to it. Never performed on stage, never. So I went to this club, and I performed, and I won the contest. So that's when I said, I guess I'm a good writer. I guess I And how it mesmerized and got the attention of everybody, And so I'm like, so I can take my positive, and I can put it in music, and I can help people make better choices and better decisions in their life, because sometimes what we see, what we hear can influence us. So that's why, that's what got me to knowing that this is something that I want to do.
Well, going back to music, this ain't even in my questions, but it just came to me. If you could collab with 5 musicians, whether dead or alive, who would it be and why?
I would try to collaborate with some of the musicians that, like Snoop Dogg or 50 Cent or Eminem or Puff Daddy, just the different ones. And the reason why I would do that, because our whole purpose in life is to see if we can steer them to pushing out more positive things than the negative about booty or about this or about that, about this. You imagine the power that we as artists have in our hands and the influence that we have?
Yeah.
If we could imagine that, so that's the reason why I picked those names, because if we could take them and have them to focus more on the positive, changing the thoughts of our youth, because those are the kids that we're leaving behind.
Yeah,
we're not the future.
Yeah.
So if I could talk to them and say, man, you know, let's try to put out more tracks about positive things, about uplifting the community, about this and that. I understand that, yeah, we all like to laugh, we all like to have fun, we all like to this and that, but if we push more positive out, then I think our community will be more positive, have more growth, and have more positivity about the things that they do and their activity that they do in their life.
For you, the songs that you've written, what song are you most proud about that you've written on your own, and why? Why would that song be most important to you, considering you're a musician, considering you've probably written numerous of songs? What would be that one song that's important to you?
Too many mothers, fathers crying. Too many youngsters dying. Tell me what can we do, me and you, to help change this thing? That's the most important, because we see it all the time.
Yeah.
Funerals, the young, and you go out to the graveyard, and I mean, I remember when I used to go out to the graveyard, it was a bunch of old folks. Now you go to the graveyard, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you know, oh my God. And some of those kids are not going to live to get my age. You see?
Yeah,
because of the negative influence that we have and the division that we have in our country and in our churches and in our schools and in our homes. And it's sad.
Yeah.
So that's why that was the most important thing in my life, that song, because it touches, and it's the truth.
Yeah.
That song, when I'm dead and gone, that truth will stand in that song.
Yeah.
Anybody that hears it, you know, they know that it's the truth, because everything, I don't write fiction. I write fact and I write truth.
Yeah.
Because that is what's going to set us free, and that's what's going to change the negative thought. Because even if I don't change the world, if I can change 1 or 2 people that hear that, from the negative thought that, oh, man, I'm going to go out and this, I'm going to that, oh, man, oh, God. Because it takes us.
Yeah, it takes community.
Okay? It
Yeah.
takes us. Because a child is going to turn out how we raise it and how we teach it. If you want a child to be bad, teach it bad things. If you want it to be good, teach it good things. Program it in their head. Boom, boom, boom. Just like they do the commercials that they want us to.
Yeah. I believe this is something we all probably want to know. Take us back to the moment where you became the opening act for Kirk Franklin's 1990 Gospel Music Workshop of America convention. How did that experience? What was that experience like?
Well, it was a good experience. That wasn't the first audience, that a big crowd I've been into, because I've been into many of them. But when they asked me to do that, because I was performing all over the place with different, it was good, because you know what? I said, you know, somebody gonna get to hear my music. Somebody gonna get to hear what I stand for. Somebody gonna get to, you know, and I can get into the ears and the minds of many people. So it was a great thing to know that, you know, that I opened up for someone that was going to influence people, that was doing positive things and doing positive message to people. So that was a good feeling to me.
Are you still writing music currently, or have you took a break from it?
Well, I took a break from it because I got so much stuff to do.
Yeah.
But it never. I'm always designing though.
Yeah,
I design
always creating.
Shirts, hats. I still write. You never stop because it's a love of you. I used to fight martial arts and boxing. I still got my bag hanging up in the back, and I still go out there and because once it become you, it's always you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I like it gives me peace. So I still write, even though I don't go out and perform all the time. I still write.
Yeah. Is it a sense of therapy for you?
Yes.
Yeah. Therapeutic.
Yes.
Yeah. You perform your own songs under the name Tricky T. Share with us the meaning behind that name and why you chose it.
Well, I really didn't choose the name.
Okay.
Some of the guys chose the
Gave
name.
it to
You know how they give you nicknames and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I was always playing tricks on people and stuff like that. And so they started calling me Tricky T. And so that's how that name became.
That's how that.
Yeah, that's how that name became because and then I could usually, if they gave me something to sing or something to write about, or so, I could write it. I could do it. So, and a lot of times, and then people sometimes underestimate me, and then they say, "Oh, you know," so like you trick them or you.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
That.
Okay, so it just stuck with you. You just ran with it.
It stuck with me, and I ran with it. Yeah.
Yeah. In the poetry community, do you have any initiatives or programs that you are part of in order to stay connected, you know, with your fan base? Is there anything that you're doing to make sure that up-and-coming poets, you know, are able to be on platforms that they need to be on?
Well, I used to. Barnes and Noble used to call me all the time.
Yeah.
Different poets I would go and do, but I kind of just pulled back because it was not. I did it because I'm not looking for fame. I'm not looking for the spotlight. I'm not looking for when I walk in the room, everybody ooh and all over me. I'm just a normal person. I want to be, when I walk in the grocery store, you don't know who I am. Yeah. You know, you don't know who I am until me and you talk. Until you walk with me daily in my daily life. So I'm just a calm person, and I don't want. If I wanted that, I would have stayed in it. But I still write. And like now, I still every once in a while people will call me and ask me to come and do stuff, and I'll just go do it. But it's not something that I'm willing to just continue
to do. Yeah. Even in the poetry community, how do you think your approach to your poetry has evolved since you started back at the age of 19? Have you seen some development? Have you seen some growth from when you first started up until now?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of growth. Spiritually, naturally, and the people that have heard me, that known me, so I've seen a lot of growth. Mostly it's positive growth.
Yeah.
You know, and then the people that I spit it out to and say it to, how they look, oh my God. You know, and then kids of the day that raps and this and that, and then they hear me, they go, oh my God, man, we didn't know you could do that. Because when you can influence people and you speak fact and you speak truth and you speak it where they can feel it, then you have influenced many, 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 many people.
Yeah.
They'll always remember you. You see, so.
Yeah, I think influence definitely goes a long way, whether it's positive or negative.
Yes.
We just have to choose the route,
which route?
Yeah, which route to take. I kind of want to make a shift. Considering that you are a long-time tenure of the Forest Hill community, what does this city mean to you, considering you've been here probably the majority of your life or half of your life?
Well, this city means a whole lot to me. It means because I can see the growth and I can see the potential that it has in it, and I can see what it needs. You know, the first thing our city really need is love. That's the first thing it needs. Because if we can love one another, we can connect one another, we can protect one another, we can grow with one another, and we all can succeed together. So I see Forest Hill as a good city. And like I told my wife, when we finish the terms in where God has gotten us in, when we finish, I want everybody to say, you know what, God done been to this city. God have put his love and his grace and his mercy over this city. God has given this city a second chance. So that's what I see. Forest Hill is a very great place, and I got here because God led me here. I thought it was Forward. I didn't know nothing about Forest Hill.
Yeah.
So, but I believe Forest Hill is on the move, and I believe that if we all come together as a people and as living up under one God, and not worrying about where my mama come from, my daddy come from, who you are, what color you are, but if we can come together as a people, man, imagine.
Yeah. See if you remember this date, June 20th, 2023. You took an oath of office to serve as member of City Council. What would be your primary focus to making sure that the city of Forest Hill continues to move forward? What would be their primary focus for you?
The primary focus is to listen to the needs of the citizens. Not my needs, but to listen to see what it is they want to bring to the city, see what it is they want to change, to see what it is the problems, you know, is to fixing the problems or getting back to them and keeping it open, transparent, letting them know what's going on and letting them know this and that. So my primary is to listen to the citizens, because they chose us to be their voice.
Right.
And to help make decisions that need to be made. And that's my primary goal, is to making sure that we try to accomplish everything that we said we ran on. Try. Because all God tells us to do is to try. And I believe if we try hard enough, we work with people, work with one another, I believe we can accomplish anything we put our mind to or any goal that we set. Because I believe God will help us reach that goal. Because God cares about Forest Hill. God cares about our cities, our homes, our schools. Yeah. But we have to try to connect ourselves together as a people in order for there to be growth and positive growth.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree with that. It starts with the people coming together, making sure that they all on the same page, have the same vision so that they can thrive as a community. So you're definitely right about that. As I was studying you, it was saying that you were a person who was very involved in the community. You were known to be a community volunteer or community leader prior to becoming elected as councilman. So I guess for our listeners and viewers, share with us the importance of servant leadership. And the reason why I ask this is because I've heard just because you're in a position of leadership doesn't necessarily mean that you have leadership qualities, if that makes sense. And so for you, what would be servant leadership? What does that look like?
A servant leader to me, and a great leader to me, is somebody who's always putting others before him or herself. It's somebody that always is willing to jump in the gutter or jump in the tunnel, be the first one to grasp hopes of something so that others, because sometimes a leader, when you jump in first and you show them that I'm not afraid and I'm not scared to get dirty, I'm not scared for a battle, then that encourages those who are following behind you. So you have all types of leaders, but there's not many great leaders, because many leaders that call themselves leaders only think about themselves and not the people that are following them. You see, a good leader never wants to be more than the people that he are leading or she are leading. To me, that's a great leader to me. It's somebody that can influence somebody not by talk but through action.
Yeah, yeah.
You see? So that's a great leader to me.
Yeah.
There's many leaders, there's many gods, but there's only one true God, right?
Right.
And we know that. So a lot of people, there's many preachers, but there's not very many true preachers. But what I am saying, a good leader is somebody that can leave a legacy behind, and people will still follow his protocol because they know it works. And he was or she wasn't afraid to get in there and show them how it works.
That's good. For you, how does it feel working alongside your wife, considering if she's the mayor? Because I'm pretty sure you wear different hats. You're a husband, you're a father, you're in the community. So how does that work, working alongside, your wife? And how do you guys balance making sure that things get done?
Well, the first thing, she's a good lady. And the second thing, that you have to understand our roles. We have to understand she's a lady and I'm a man. We're going to always think different. We're going to always have different emotions. But we're able to come together and work out those emotions even though we're different.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're able to sit down and talk about things that we want to see coming to the city, or we want to see bringing change, or, so we have that time to sit down and talk. And I think it's a great thing, because when you got two positive people that is not in it for themselves, because both of us are selfless. We're not selfish. We got the heart of gold. We'll give you the shirt off our back. Because, and then another thing, the good thing is because God. That's the first thing for a relationship, is knowing God. That when it becomes, sometimes I have to tell my wife, no. They get angry, but you just let it, you say what you got to say and you walk away.
Yeah.
Then they begin to think about it. Because sometimes we as humans, we're selfish.
Yeah.
Women are very emotional people. Men are, we.
Yeah.
So the good thing about it is that we're able to make a difference in this community. We're able to show people in this community, just because we're husbands and wives, that doesn't mean that we're not, we're in there trying to do things just for ourselves. There's things we can't even do for ourselves, because we have to, our first commitment is the community.
Yeah.
Because that's what we committed to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I like to see, this and that, but no. But I am just one person. She is just one person. What do the community say? What do they want? So that's the key, the perks to being a husband and wife, that we're able to make a difference, we're able to make a change, we're able to help so many people.
Yeah. It definitely starts with sitting down and having those conversations. Yeah, especially husband and wife. I'm married as well. So, yeah, it might be things that I might not agree that my wife wants to do, but I have to sit back and reflect and okay, if this is what's best, then I'll go with it, or vice versa. So, no, you're definitely right about that. What would be the typical day in the life of a council member? What does that day look like?
Well, because I'm married to the mayor, it's always about the city.
Yeah.
It's always about problems. It's always about solutions. It's always about, making sure that everything gets done right, making sure that every problem that has occurred gets taken care of.
Yeah.
So it's a 24-hour thing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I can agree with that.
So you have to learn to mix your business and this, and take your family, and take your this, and take your that, so it all becomes a whole. And the good thing about it, what did God tell us? He said, I will not put nothing up on you greater than what you can bear. He's not going to put nothing in my life that I can't figure out, or there's not a solution
for it. Yeah.
So
I agree. This is a reader question. If you could eat dinner with 4 people, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
If I could eat dinner with 4 people, dead or alive, my father, he's gone. My mother, she's here. My wife. and my little granddaughter.
Why?
Because those are the most influenced people in my life. Those are the people that got me to where I'm at. Those are the people that when I didn't believe, they believed, so it made me believe.
Yeah, yeah.
And plus, Mama can cook.
Mama can cook? What Mama cook?
Oh.
What's your favorite dish from Mama?
A turkey and dressing and those yeast rolls.
Ooh. I think we was talking about things the other day. Yeah, Thanksgiving coming up, man.
It's coming.
For you, what hobbies or activities do you enjoy outside of handling business and community responsibility? Because I'm pretty sure you have to set aside or find a way to set aside time for yourself. So what are those hobbies or activities to make sure that you're refreshed?
I like to, in the morning when I get up and I go out and feed my animals, I got my punching bag right there on the porch, on the back. Hit it, 10, 15 minutes. I like bike riding. I like going walking. I like going to the lake. I like going to the casino, once or twice, 3 times a year. I like laughing. I like visiting with friends.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I'm an athlete, so I love anything. If competition, let's go.
Okay.
You want to beat me? I don't believe you can beat me.
What sports did you play? Speaking of being an athlete.
I martial arts, boxed, track. I play tennis, basketball, football, soccer, anything that had something to it, I did it.
Okay. Did they come from family, or is it something that you just love to do growing up?
I'm pretty sure it came from family, but I mean, a lot of it is just because I was very hyper.
Yeah.
I had to have something to do.
Yeah. I got you. Before we go on, audience, any questions that y'all have, y'all want to interject?
So we have a couple of questions that came from...
I was going to say use that mic, yeah. I thought about that earlier, so they can hear. Big sis.
Okay, so we have a couple of questions. Is this mic on? Oh, sorry. Thank you. We have a couple of questions that came from staff. The first one was, what motivated you to get involved in poetry and spoken word?
Well, what motivated me is because poetry, writing, singing, you can express yourself and you don't even have to talk to nobody. If you're feeling down, you can go out by the lake, or you can go out and look up in the sky, and things begin to come to you. So it motivates you. And then plus, I like helping people. I like talking to people. And when I was in high school, junior high, elementary, kids would come to me and with their problems, and I would always help them out. And it always worked out when they came to me with problems and situations. God just gave me what to tell them in order to help them fix their problems.
Next question was, so let me make sure I word this correctly. She said that when you sing, I hear the rhythm of slave or Negro chants. Is that intentional?
No, because I was the baby of the family, and I believe a lot of that comes from I was raised around a lot of older people, and I believe that it's something that's just in my spirit that can feel the tension in our world, and it can feel the struggle that our ancestors has come through. So I believe our spirit has a lot to do with how we speak, how we talk, how we think, how we sound. And I believe when you appear, everything comes from within you, not just your fleshly mind. So everything I do comes from my spirit, comes from the depth of my soul, because I mean what I say.
Makes sense. Last question from her was, who is your role model?
My heavenly role model is Jesus. My earthly role model is my mother and my father. Because without them, I don't believe I would have been the man I am today. I don't believe I would be talking to y'all. I don't believe I would have been doing poetry. I don't believe I would have been caring for about anybody. Because as people, we're selfish people. And that role model is what brought me from realizing that the world is bigger than you. You have to learn to put yourself aside for others. And what helped me, the greatest thing I'll never forget in my life, when I was a young boy, I was real fast. And my father used to have bowls and stuff, and he would put candy, sometimes be candy and stuff, and we'd run, and I would be the first one there all the time. So one day, he came out on the porch, he had a bowl. I ran up there, I was the first one. I looked off in the bowl, it wasn't nothing that I wanted. It was fried okra, and I hate okra. So I looked in the bowl, and I turned around and walked away. He said, "Get your butt back over here." So he let all the kids would come and get this, and then at the end, he put yours in there, here the bowl. But not knowing at the time he was teaching me. He who is first will be last. So what I was thinking about all the time, hey, I want to beat everybody. I want to be first. So he taught me a lesson that I carry still today. Forget yourself at time for others, and God himself will make sure that others forget themselves at time for you. So he taught me something that day. Young man, a great leader always make sure that those who follow him or her gets first. If you do that, then those who follow you or look up to you, what will they do? They'll always make sure that you have. So I never, from that day forward, I never was first back to that bowl. No matter what was in it. He taught me a lot.
I want to touch back on something that Willie asked, because I had already written the question down. He was asking you about what is it like being married to the mayor, right? Mm-hmm. But before you expand on that, I was thinking as I wrote this, I thought, you're so positive. Every time I've ever encountered with you, you've always had a positive spirit. You've always come off positive. And even as you speak today, I'm listening, family is important to you. Your four were your dad, who's passed away, your mother, your wife, and your granddaughter. So that tells me how important family is to you, because anybody else could have picked a number of people, right? Celebrity or not. But your family means a lot to you. So my thinking is, or my question is, how do you deal with the negativity that comes from being the mayor's husband? Or in general, the negativity that comes with her being the mayor? I think if we're honest about it, then we know that in this city, because it's so divided and because it's gone through many changes of council, you guys coming in, you after her, instantly stirred up frustration and tension. How do you deal with those people who, when you overhear them saying those negative things? Because as a man and as a husband, your first job is to protect. But then you are counsel. So how do you draw the line? How do you compartmentalize what you want to respond to and how you want to respond to it?
Well, the first thing is I've grown as a person and as a man and as a human. That's the first thing. Because if I would have been counselor in my youth years, you wouldn't want to know me. But that's where growth and time comes. And being around people that's positive. Being around people, my father used to say, boy, get your problems over to God, quit trying to fight them, because you're going to be in trouble with man and God. So And I have to talk to my wife a lot, because she's a lady, y'all, you know. And I said, baby, listen to me. Don't fight their fight. If you fight their fight, they're going to beat you every time. Fight the fight that you know that's right. Fight the fight that Jesus fought. Fight with the weapon that he fought with. My God told me, give your problems over to me and let them go. If I keep listening to all the negative, I hear it, but I ain't listening. Because when I hear it and I don't listen to it, what it do? Because I got greater things to do. When I listen to the negative, it prevents me from doing the positive. Mm. So when you deal with all types of people, all types of evil and all types of this and that, you see, I lean up on God. You heard that first poem I said? Bring your problem to me, just let it go. Because as the first thing as a human being, if you hit me, I want to hit you 3 or 4 times. Right? That's just human nature.
Natural reaction.
But that's why Jesus came in the role. If I trust in him, just...
The south side of me would
but you see what I'm saying? So that's how... But I have to talk to my wife a lot.
Yeah,
because my wife, and you hit her, she wants to rah, rah. Some of us are more depth in the spirit, and some of us are... So those of us who are here, we take those and we carry them. Mm. We might have to do it 100 times.
Ooh, that's good.
100 times. But my God, now that the God that I serve, said, don't fight their fight. You let me handle. Treat them all with respect, because God can't be glorified if me and you fighting. If we fighting like this all the time, neither one of us are glorifying God. But the smart one said, girl, what are we doing? Let's stop this. Then the angels in heaven begin to sing. Because why? Then the devil loves confusion. Mm-hmm. He loves us to fight. He wants to take this politics. Like I tell people, you can't take God out of it. If you keep God in everything. It's when we begun to take God out of politics. That's why politics is so divided. That's why America's so divided. So what the key is that we have to hear it, but don't listen to it.
Very enlightening.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very good.
My last question, and then I'll let somebody else, is I guess I'll ask it as a 2-part question. What has been your greatest accomplishment serving on council? I know you guys work as a team, but what is one of the things that you're most proud of since you've been in office? And then also, do you have any future plans? Because your term would be up in 2026.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you have any future plans to rerun? And if so, would it be for mayor?
Oh, God, no.
He said that quick.
God, no. No, Lord, no.
Okay.
My greatest accomplishments that I see, the heavy burden that's been on Forest Hill has been lifted. I see people that have never worked together now is working together. I see our churches and our schools are getting greater. I see the attitude of people because positive people came in. You know, you can walk in a place, if there is negative anywhere in there, if you got a good spirit, a good vibe, you can feel it. It can't hide. It can't hide. So my greatest accomplishments is we bringing the community together as a whole. And I see people working together that is never working together. I've seen cities coming together, joining, that has never done it before. So those are my greatest accomplishments in the short time that I've been here, of my positive attitude, her positive attitude has brought, and that's why we're seeing growth now. That's why. See, positive is growth. Negative is stale. It don't go nowhere. You remember our parents used to tell us when they asked us when we was kids, boy, you want some of this? Or why you doing that? Or you just such. I don't care. He said, what? You go sit your butt in that corner. Why you sitting in this corner? Because if I go back to where I came from when I was young, don't care. It's still sitting over there. Negative. Ain't done nothing. We all got friends and people that we know that I don't care. It's negative. Positive is growth. Positive is what true leaders take with them. Positive is what true leaders leave behind. Positive is what help us to succeed. Without positive and without any of that, nothing is no good. So the legacy that and our accomplishments that we've had, I believe, is changing the hearts and the thoughts of people. And I believe we still got a while to go. But Rome wasn't built in a day. Right? It wasn't built in a day. God built the world in 7 days. He could have done it in one. But he did that so that we can set up our weeks and set up our times and this and that. So I believe if God's will and if God say after this run is finished, and if it's the will of the people that want to put me back in, put me back in. But I will promise you, I will continue doing greatness. I will continue being positive, no matter what kind of negative that we cross and face. I will continue so that God may be glorified. I will continue so that everybody, if you go back to my youth and you find somebody that knew me in my youth, find somebody that knew me in your youth and ask them about me. Still that same old positive timing. So I believe it's the attitude, and I believe it's the changing, bringing people together, bringing the churches together, bringing more positive things to the neighborhood. I believe that's our greatest accomplishment. Now, we've accomplished many more, but I don't want to sit here and try to.
One follow-up question. When is the Waffle House open? We tired of
I think now, if I'm not mistaken, I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Praise God, man.
Praise God.
We hungry, man.
I know that's right.
We've been. Go ahead, sir. It's on you, man. That is too funny.
Takes me a minute to get this whole body moving.
Oh, that's all right.
You still
If we
moving?
keep living, we'll get there.
The question I'm going to ask you, I'm going to ask two real quick, then I'm going to sit down.
Yes, sir.
The first one was a takeoff on the question he asked about 4 people to eat dinner with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask you that question again, but I want historical figures. Okay? Same question, historical figures that you would like to sit down and maybe not eat dinner with, but have a conversation.
Wow.
And why? And then the second question is, as a person who has run for office, what do you look for in people that are running for office? What are the character traits that you want working in the people that you're going to be working with?
Wow. Whew, good questions.
Well, first and foremost, I would sit down, I would talk to Donald Trump.
He's not
Not him?
okay, go ahead.
So you asked me,
I know what I asked you.
I would sit down and talk to him.
Okay, that's one.
And then I would talk to Kamala Harris.
Okay.
I would talk to Donald Trump, Kamala Harris. I would talk to some of the people that's on council, that's on our council. And then I would talk to sit down and talk to Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali. But he's gone, but I would.
Why Muhammad?
Muhammad had a lot of courage. He went outside the box. He accomplished unbelievable things. He was fearful. He wasn't afraid. He talked trash to get in his enemy's mind. And he accomplished a lot in a short time. That's why I would talk to him. Just to, just to ask them questions, just to, I didn't agree with his beliefs for his, but he has his own belief and I have mine. But as a person, as a man, I would have talked to him, asked him all kinds of questions. And then what else was it? I would talk to Kamala. I would ask her, now that you've lost, are you going to continue? Or are you going to try to run again? You didn't get defeated because you touched the lives of many. I would ask her, and I would tell her you was very inspirational to many women of color, many women of different ethnic and different races. So, and I would just tell her she done a good job. She did a great job, and I hope she come back and try again. And Donald Trump, and I would ask him, have you really ever tried God? Do you know that God is not in division? Do you know that God is not in hatred? Do you know that God is not in separation? Why do you say a lot of the things that you say? I respect every man as a human being, but I disagree with a lot of his rhetoric. And then I would ask him, now that you have a second chance, where are you going to take us? Are we going back or are we going to go forward? And Donald Trump, you said, let's make America great again. What's great from the past? I would ask him, what's great? What do you mean by great? I would ask him to tell me, what do he mean? Because I would tell him, Donald Trump, America has never been great. Donald Trump, but we can make it great together by working together, by not, see, when they started the Democrat, the Republican, and this and that, that divided the country. Because now, see, I'm just a child of God, and I'm for what's right. I got to work with murderers. I got to work with prostitutes. I got to work with dope dealers. I got to work with all types of people, but I still have to make sure that I treat all of those people the same. I have to make sure that the God that I'm telling them about, that they can see that God in me through my actions and through how I treat them. So I would talk, that's what I would say to Donald Trump. Why is, and I would see what he say. And who else was it? Donald Trump, Kamala, Muhammad Ali. Who else was it?
And people on
Oh,
the
other
council.
city councils. City councils. What did we get on here for? What did we get on here for? Was it for ourselves? Or was it for the citizens that voted us in? Are we going to continue to fight and vote not for things that is needed in the city because I don't like this person or I don't like this person? The citizens voted us in for one thing. They don't care about me and you going out in the back fighting back there. All they want is us to do what it is that needed. They trust their lives in our hands. They trusted that we can make a quick decision and it'd be a right decision that won't come back to haunt the city or them. So I would ask him, why do you vote? If you're not going to give the citizens what they want, what are you sitting up here for? What's your purpose? And what else? Now, what else? What, it was,
Oh, the other question?
yeah, the other question. Yeah.
What are the characteristics and traits
Yeah, that you look for.
that you look for in the people that you are going to be working with?
Integrity, trust, honesty, respect, kindness, love, all of that. You want to see it in the people that, I know we might not see it, but that's what I want to see. I want to see what's in me and others.
Yeah.
I want to see not my negative side, but I want to see my positive side. If I'm going to work with you, I mean, you're going to work together, would you not, you want to go on a road trip with somebody that's kind of compatible with you or somebody that you're going to fight with all? You see what I'm saying? No,
Yeah.
that's what I want. I want somebody that is compatible. Not thinking about me, but thinking about all the people that we're going to influence. All the people that put their trust in us. All the people that is sitting back wanting the right thing to be done. All the people that is begging and crying for help. See, we are the voice of the city. We are. So what we have to do what? We have to make sure, and I want to, like you said, I want to make sure those people got the same mindset and want to do for the citizens what we promised them and what's needed.
Wow, that was amazing. Oh, what you got, sis?
I know we're on time,
Engineer?
I know we're on time, but let me
We'll close with this.
let me expand with his question, because I don't know that you really gave us what we were looking for. So I'm going to give you 4 names.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And you tell me of these 4 names.
Yes, ma'am.
Why you would want to sit down with them. Any one of them, not all 4. Okay? So I'm going to give you 4 of my favorites. I'm a little bit of a radical, so I love Nat Turner. I love everything that he stood for. There's some peace in me still, so I love Medgar Evers. And of course, you can't leave out Dr. King, but I also would pick Malcolm X if I had my choice. Because Dr. King was about peace, but Malcolm didn't have a problem punching you upside your head.
No, he didn't.
And then I also would like to throw in, because what you come across as is a very peaceful, God-fearing, enlightening person. So let's say Harriet. Let's say you could sit down with one of those 5 people, and Mr. DC, you may have had your own list for him to choose from. So if there's somebody else, you throw that name in, and I would just like to know, and I'll let him add to it, why you would have picked one of those people. Go ahead.
Well, for me, I would pick our boy. We talked about him earlier, Frederick Douglass. I would love to sit down with Frederick Douglass because, and then after Frederick Douglass, I would move up in time a little bit, and I would go with A. Philip Randolph. A. Philip Randolph. Because he was the first one to envision our true struggle in the civil rights era and how we had to manifest ourselves to get in central position. Then the next one, I would want to meet and kind of just have a real long talk with a fellow a lot of people don't give credit, but I loved Stokely Carmichael. I love Stokely Carmichael and the ideas that he had for SNCC. And last but not least, I would love to sit down very astute at working the politics of government. And it was some of the things he did were just really, they were small things, but it was like taking the cotton pen out of the wheel, the whole wheel come off. And those would be my four.
So Councilman, of those names, who would you sit with?
Ooh, there's some heavy hitters.
Martin Luther King. I've always believed that he could have done more to you think about the Chinese, you think about the Spanish, you think about the white, you think about all races. Most of them got things that we don't have. And I wonder, why didn't they fight hard enough for us to continue our own leagues, our own banks, our own businesses, but still integrate with, work and trade with others. Because you got to understand, as a leader, we're powerful. You can reach people that the average people can't reach.
Yeah.
And you can influence people that's higher. Because somebody that ain't got no, you know how the world is. If you ain't no name somewhere, man, you don't know nothing.
Yeah.
But I believe he was a good man, but I believe that they could have pushed harder. Yeah, I was all about integration, everybody coming together, this and that, but I was still believe that we should have kept a lot of our teams, a lot of our banks, a lot of our businesses, and integrate like the Chinese and all of the different people. Because I'm not a prejudiced man, but I still believe that you're stronger when you can identify yourself and keep your identity in business, education, in anything, but still come together as a whole and as a people. And instead of giving everything over in one entity or one thing running.
Wow, that was good. This is a very enlightening.
But I hope if y'all hear this, I'm not a prejudiced man.
Yeah.
But we all have identity that we need to stick with. I'm married to a white lady, and I love that God allowed us to come back together as a people and as a whole. You see, and I think it's good that we all can marry who we want, we all can love who we want, we all can do this, but I still think if you're stronger, if you have something that you can attach to, that you can always call your own, and that you can always identify yourself with, because education, business, and all that's strong, right? If we can we could have worked with them and said, hey, this is my bank over here. What can we do in order to work together as a bank? What can we do in order to work together as a team? You see what I'm saying? But I understand how men think. You see, but I still think we would have been stronger if we would have, if he would have pushed for it. I think it's good that we all go to different schools, different this, but we still didn't have to get rid of it.
Wow, that was good. That was great. But we're gonna he said that's that Malcolm, Malcolm, Martin, Freddie.
I just always believed that. As a kid, and as I began to watch things, I've always just believed it. We didn't have to get rid of our banks. We didn't have to get rid of, even when they destroyed it in Tulsa, we could have been rebuilt.
I agree with that.
And still worked with every other race there with, and still been strong. But we lost our identity along the way. But I'm just saying, imagine if we'd have stuck together and said, no, we're getting it back.
It'd be a whole lot of, you know the end of that.
But I'm just saying, but you feel my point, right? But I don't want to throw no race war, but I love all people. I love all people because there's one God created us, but he still gave us minds. he still give us mine. Yeah, no, girl.
we gonna close it right there, y'all. This is Ordinary Conversations
Trying to take me back to the past.
with extraordinary people, man. Your host is the most, Willie Beeman. We're closing out our series next week, man, with my little sis, Nia Imani. Be here next Wednesday at 12 p.m. This is your host with the most. Peace.